everybody, it's Kate, the West Coast Paper Crafter. You are joining me from my home in East Sault, Vancouver Island, Canada. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, obviously in Canada. I think I just said that. Anyway, tonight I'm going to show you how to make this very cute card that is perfect when you have some pretty pattern paper that you want to show off. And I use the Happiest Day stamp set for this, which of course I can't find. I was going to show you it, but I've got a mess. Oh, here it is. I have a mess going on. So I'm using this stamp set, and I'm going to use the Dragonflies and wishing you the happiest birthday, even though there is a sentiment in this stamp set that makes me so happy. It says, "You make me feel like glitter in the sun," but I haven't used it yet, because I don't have anybody to give it to. And if I just gave it to somebody randomly, I think they would think I was weird. I don't know. What do you guys think? I like this sentiment, "You make me feel like glitter in the sun," but I have a little bit of a hang up making cards with it because I just think people might think I'm a weirdo. I don't know. Is it just me? Tell me it's just me. I hope it's just me, because if you guys tell me it's just me, then I'm going to start making cards with that saying, because imagine how good it would feel if you actually felt like glitter in the sun. I mean, seriously. Well, of course, I have my volume on my computer. One moment while I shut that off. I always forget to do things. So I am starting out with the camera facing my workspace simply because those of you who have watched me before know that I'm always struggling with my focus and making everybody dizzy every time I get started. So I didn't want to punish you guys tonight. So I'll flip the camera around at the very end, but I thought maybe it's a little more seamless if I just start the camera focused and then I don't have to fight with it. Anyway, let's get going. This is a really simple card design. I have got a fresh Freesia card base. I'm going to raise my camera up a bit so you can see it, the whole thing. It is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4 on the 8.5 inch side. And then I've got a piece of Blackberry Bliss, which is 4 inches by 5 inches. I've got basic white. This is just for the inside, so this is completely optional. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. I've got a piece of basic white, which is 2.5 by 3.5. And then I've got these strips of designer series paper. This one is 3.5 by 1 1/4, 2.5 by 1 1/4, and 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. So I'm going to start out by stamping some of the sparkles. Hello, Allison. Closed captioning happens on my YouTube, so if you need to read versus listen, then I will post this on YouTube once the live is done, and there's definitely closed captions on YouTube. I'm not sure how closed captions work with Facebook, if they pop up on my videos or not. I've tried to set them up before, and then I just gave up because it was too much of a struggle. But fun fact, Allison, that's how I actually got started posting my videos to YouTube, because I have a follower who's hearing impaired, and she let me know that. So when I couldn't figure out closed captioning on Facebook, then that's the origin of how I started posting videos on Facebook, and on YouTube. Okay, now the little glitter stamp from the stamp set. I'm just going to stamp this in fresh Freesia on the bottom left corner of my basic white rectangle. I'm just going to stamp it randomly, no pressure. All right, I think that's good. I don't need the fresh, you know what, before I put this away, I'm going to add some of this. I don't know if it's glitter. I think it's glitter. It's really pretty, but I'm going to add that to the inside layer as well, because I like this stamp. All right. Hi, Kate. Thanks for tuning in. Gail, Ruth, If I'm missing comments, I'm sorry. I will catch up. If I miss your comment, I don't mean to. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Jackie. Thanks for tuning in, guys. All right, so I don't need this, but I do need this. And before I glue it down, I'm going to stamp the sentiment, the happy birthday sentiment, because as much as I love the glitter sentiment, I don't have anyone to send it to. So I'm interested. Tell me in the comments what you think of that sentiment. And if you missed it, the sentiment says, "You make me feel like glitter in the sun." It's the only one I haven't used in the stamp set, but I want to use it. I just need the right person. Certainly wouldn't be my husband. If I sent him a card like that, he would not be impressed. So I love Blackberry Bliss. I just love it, but I'm guaranteed to get it all over my fingers. It's just the way I roll. Dark colors, oh yeah, I'm gonna get messy. Hello, Janice, and Phyllis, and Jill, and Janine. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. All right, so I'm done stamping on this, but I find, and this might be just me, but dark colors will smudge so easily. So I'm not going to touch this piece for about 30 seconds. I'm going to let that sit, because if I glue it down, I'm going to smudge it. So while that's drying, I am going to stamp a couple dragonflies, the outlines, in Blackberry Bliss on some scrap white paper. And then I'm going to do their wings in fresh Freesia. I don't think I need this Blackberry Bliss anymore. I'm going to get it out of the way. All right, so these dragonflies are two-step stamping. Oops, my wings are falling off. They're not quite sticky enough. If that happens to you, if your photopolymer stamps lose their stick, then they're really easy to get sticky again. I typically will give them just a gentle wash with some dish soap, just a little bit of dish soap and warm water. I'll let them dry and they get sticky again. Hi, Sue. Hey, Kathy. And I'll use rubbing alcohol sometimes as well. So I'm just going to line these up the best I can because I can't quite get my head over the wings when my camera's in the way. As you can see, I'm off a little bit. So I'm okay double stamping these. That doesn't bother me. Oh, I'm still missing it. Anyway, I do so much better when I can get my head right over my wings. Actually, I think I was stamping them backwards. That's probably what my problem is. Is it too late in the day to have some more caffeine? Because I might need some. Oh, yeah. Okay. That one turned out better because it turns out I was stamping those wings the wrong way. So don't be like Kate. Pay attention to your stamps. Because there's a right way and a wrong way sometimes. So the bottom wings I'm going to do in fresh Freesia as well, but I'm going to stamp off and stamp them in a lighter color. And that I like to refer to as second generation stamping. So first generation stamping is inking and stamping off. Second generation is ink, stamp off, and then stamp. And then third generation, even lighter. But with fresh Freesia, third generation is actually a little bit too light. It's really hard to see. That is it for stamping. Now, I will fussy cut these out, but I've already done that. So I'm going to fussy cut those ones out later. But I stamped these ones last night and I cut them out just so you guys didn't have to watch me fussy cut, because hello, snooze fest, that'd be a little bit boring. So for these dragonflies, this one with the little bit darker wings, it's still fresh Freesia, but I double stamped it. And then the one below it, I didn't double stamp, so it's a little bit lighter. I like how that turned out actually. All right. Now, this card is just so easy to make, and I was inspired by another Stampin' Up demonstrator in the States. Her name is Jamie, and her Facebook page and Instagram handle is, I wrote it down. I didn't want to forget it. I wrote it down somewhere and I lost it. Oh, Stamp It Up with Jamie. So I love everything she posts. And she posted this card with different stamps, either early December or November. I can't quite remember, but I just loved it. So I had to recreate it with my Dragonfly stamp because I'm not getting enough use out of the Happiest Day stamp. It is such a fun stamp set. It just makes me really happy. All right, so I am gluing down this white rectangle in the top right of the card, giving myself a bit of a border. And then, hello, Wendy from Kamloops. How is your weather in Kamloops? In the summer, likely hot and dry. Are your winters cold? I have not been to Kamloops in the winter, but I've certainly been to Kamloops in the summer. So I'm just making sure my border is exactly the way I want it. I should have probably put these down first. But like I said, I think I need more coffee. It is 7:15. Certainly I won't stay up all night if I have a little more coffee. So you can choose to use the same side of your designer series paper. I'm going to change it up, and I think I'll just change it up a little bit different than my sample card too. I'm just going to get wild and crazy like that. So like I had said, this design I watched Stampin' Up with Jamie make, and if you haven't checked out her page, either Facebook or Instagram, she's great. I get lots of ideas from her. She's just so creative. And she usually focuses on one stamp set for a few, I don't know if it's a whole week or not, because I don't pay attention that closely, but she definitely does a series with one stamp set, and she makes lots of fun cards, and they're not too challenging, which is nice, because I don't do a lot of super challenging cards. I like lots of layers. That's my thing. I love layers. All right, now I'm going to glue this second piece of designer series paper down, and this one, so I just glued down the biggest one. That was 3.5 by 1.25. Now I'm going to glue down the second biggest, which is 2.5 by 1.25. I'm just lining that up so it matches the edge of my white paper as well. I think I'm getting a cold. Sounds like I'm losing my voice. And trust me, I haven't lost it from talking too much today. I've been really busy at work today, and I barely talk to anybody, so I'm not over talking. Maybe I'm just getting a cold. My friend Tanya told me that we might get snow on the weekend, which we usually do at least once or twice in the winter on Vancouver Island. And in the city, the snow comes and then it's gone the next day. But where I live in East Sault, I'm at a higher elevation up on a mountain, so I get way more snow than the city does. And chances are I'm going to get snowed in. So I'm really glad Tanya told me, because I like to get prepared. So let me know, friends, if you live in a place that gets snowstorms. I like to be prepared, and I get groceries before the snow comes. I don't send my son to school because it's a complete mess on the roads when it snows on Vancouver Island. And it's not that people don't know how to drive in the snow, but it's extra icy, and not everybody's got great tires. So I like to stay off the roads. Anyway, it's chaos when the island gets snow. Yeah, Janice, you heard that 4-letter word too. Snow. Yes, Tanya. Thank you. I really do appreciate you gave me a heads up, because there's a lot of things that happen for me when I hear snows in the future, because just that bit of higher elevation where I live, holy smokes, like I will get snowed in. I've had snow past higher than the door handles of my car, if you can believe that. Anyways, now, so I've glued down that panel that I've glued all those pieces on. I'm going to pop up some dragonflies with mini dimensionals, because I don't know where my other dimensionals are. And now when I fussy cut out these dragonflies, I made their tails thicker, so I could cut a mini dimensional in half, and it's probably going to fit. So let's see if I cut those tails thick enough. Karen, I am using, I think it's called Irresistible Blooms Designer Series paper. It's a freebie in the celebration. So if you shop with Stampin' Up, there's a promotion on until the end of February. And basically, when you spend a certain amount of money, you can choose a free item from the brochure. And this paper, very sure it's Irresistible Blooms. If anybody knows, and I'm wrong, please pop that in the comments. But that was one of the free celebration items, and it's very pretty. It's got lots of pretty floral designs and bright colors, which is kind of my thing. I did make those tails fat enough. Anyway, Sue stays off the road. Yes, it's a genius idea. That's why I get groceries in advance, dog food in advance, and I don't go into work. I work from home because I'm capable of working from home, but I definitely don't go into the office if I'm supposed to, because if I'm in the office in Victoria and even a few flakes start falling and I see that outside my window, you can guarantee that I am packing up my work bag and I'm going to finish the rest of the day at home, because I don't want any part of what happens on the roads when the snow really comes down. All right, so this card is yelling at me to put on some rhinestone basic jewels. It is the perfect embellishment for this card, in my opinion. But that being said, there's lots of, there's some new purple sequins that have come out in celebration too. I could have used those. I didn't think about that. Purple adhesive back sequins. They're another freebie with celebration. Thank you, Jackie. Bloom Impressions. All right. Front of the card is almost done, but what it really needs is Wink Stella. So if you don't know what Wink Stella is, it is a magic glitter brush that adds a beautiful shimmery sparkle to whatever you apply it to. So it works like a paintbrush. I am just painting on a glitter shimmer on the wings of the dragonfly, and this one's almost empty, so I'm just squeezing it, and when I squeeze it, a little more of this glitter, I don't know if it's paint, I don't quite know, it's just magic. That's what I think, it's magic. I'm just squeezing a little bit out of the chamber and it goes into the paintbrush, and it's very pretty. So I'm going to hold this up to the camera, but it might not, you might not see how beautiful it really is just because it's so subtle. Let me see. I don't know if you can see that shimmer when I twist those dragonflies, but it's there and I love it. All right, so this card, super easy. All right, Jane, you are in Trenton, Ontario, and the wind is blowing so hard. Yeah, that sounds terrible. You know, snow is one thing, but windstorms, no thank you. I don't like those either. I was just thinking to myself today when I was getting ready to go into work this morning, I took my dog out for a quick walk, and I was thinking, yeah, it's a little bit chilly for Vancouver Island, but it's been so sunny and calm, and I was feeling very grateful that we haven't had any nasty windstorms lately. Anyway, thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Allison. Hello, Joanne from Mexico. I'm a little bit jealous. Jackie, I do love the colors in this card too. All right, this is the card design. So I will go ahead and I'm going to pop the photo measurements in the comments in this Facebook video, and I'll pin it so it'll be the first thing you see if you pop into the comments. So if you're looking for the measurements, again, I'm going to pop the photo right in the comments. Now that's if you're watching this video on Facebook. If you're watching this video on YouTube, I'm going to put the measurements in the description of the video, and you will find them there. So that's it. So this coming Thursday will be the final card in the Cake Celebrations card class at home. So these are the first 3 cards. So if you haven't caught a card class at home, I just started doing them every Thursday night starting this January. So every Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to go through one of 4 designs. So the first one we did was a beginner card, which is just stamp, ink, and paper. And then the second one, a more casual crafter, where we added a few more elements, and this is a card that's a little bit more masculine. And then last Thursday, I was actually sick, so I didn't do a live. I did a pre-recorded video, and this one was a little more fancier with a few more elements and more monochromatic colors. So on Thursday, I'm going to do the last card for the Cake Celebrations card class. I had to think about that for a second. And oh, Charlene, your first time watching. Thanks for tuning in. Anyway, so Thursday, the last card design for the Cake Celebrations free card class at home will be happening, and it's going to be a fun fold with a technique, a very simple technique that I rarely ever use, but I'm going to show you. It's so simple. So we'll do that on Thursday. On Wednesday, I'm going to post the measurements in somewhere on my Facebook page. So if you're crafting along, you're going to find the measurements there. And then for those of you who are getting card kits for the Cake Celebrations, I know they haven't come yet, and it was because I didn't know what I was doing for the final project until yesterday. So now I know. I'm going to cut the final kit. I'm going to get those in the mail, and I will also email you the YouTube playlist, so all the videos will be really handy for you and you won't have to dig for them. Now, I do have one extra set of card kits for the Cake Celebration class if anybody is interested. These are a customer appreciation gift for people who shop my online store. So if you want some crafty stuff, and if you're in Canada, then send me a message and I'll send you a link, and I will mail you out all the card kits for the Cake Celebration class as a thank you. Hey, Christine, thanks for tuning in. Now, the last thing I wanted to do was, if you caught my live last Monday, I said I was going to make 5 Darling Dino cards before the end of the week. Well, that didn't happen because I got sick. I only made 3, and I wanted to show you all of them, but I couldn't find this super cute fun fold that I made. So, but I will show you this little pop-up box that I did yesterday, actually. So this was a little pop-up box that I learned how to do in one of the team events that I was able to join. So my upline and some of her friends, they do this day-long event a couple times a year where people on their teams get to join in, and we learn lots of different card designs, 3D projects, fun folds. It's a really fun day. And this was the first project that was demonstrated on Saturday. So that's what I did Saturday. So it's super cute. I put some little Valentine paper. I'll put some white on the back here so I can actually write something in, and it folds, as you can see, folds down flat into an envelope. Excuse me. Okay, I'm catching a cold. Anyway, so I have got a lot of comments about this pop-up box. People love it and they want to learn how to do it, but I don't have written instructions. So what I will do is in February, I will teach this in my card class at home, and I can tell you right now that the card class at home is going to feature the terrific Toadstools bundle from Stampin' Up. But if you don't have that, that doesn't matter. You can use whatever's in your stash and just craft along. So I'm going to teach you how to make this, and I was going to save it until the last project because I kind of like to end the class with a bang, but it seems kind of mean to make everybody wait until the end of February. So I will do the pop-up box with the terrific Toadstool bundle as the first class in the terrific Toadstools class. So if you haven't seen the terrific Toadstools stamps yet, here's one of the cards I made with it. It's just a really fun, really whimsical. So I'm going to be using the stamps. I'm going to be using the designer series paper that comes with Celebration, but it doesn't matter if you don't have these things because you can use whatever you have in your stash. All right, so that's what I have going on. I'm going to flip the camera around. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I don't think I have anything else to add. I'm going to throw a link to my online store in the comments, as well, in case you want to get your hands on the cake celebration card kits that are my customer appreciation thank you gift for this month. And then February, it's going to be obviously the card kits for the terrific toadstools cards that I'm going to be doing throughout the month. And I'm going to try to get them mailed out sooner so you can craft along with me instead of waiting until the last minute. So that's my bad. I'm not a super organized person, but I'm working on it. 2025 Kate is trying to be more organized, and it's going to start with getting some card kits out and actually planning and designing all the cards well in advance instead of just a day or two before I go live. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm going to work on being better. Anyway, thanks very much for tuning in. If you catch the replay on Facebook or YouTube, say hello, tell me where you're from. And if you make this card design, I would really like to see what you come up with. You guys are so creative. Thanks for tuning in with me tonight, and I hope I'll see you all on Thursday. Have a great night.